Thanks, Kareem. Europe and France are concerned about Buy America provisions in the Inflation Reduction Act, and President Macron is expected to raise that during his visit. What will the President Biden, say in response to this?
So I'm not going to get into hypotheticals about what may come up in that conversation. Yeah, but still, well, it's hypothetical because it hasn't happened yet. They may have flagged that. I'm not going to speak for France, clearly. I'm just speaking for this president. I speak for the President of the United States. So right now, it is a hypothetical that it will come up, right? And but I will say this: the Inflation Reduction Act, as we know, is historical. It will, it is an investment that will, a historical investment that will deal with climate change in a real way. It will lower costs for American families. If you think about healthcare, if you think about energy cost as well, and just a couple of things. There's a number of provisions that will contribute to the growth of clean energy sector globally, and that is important to note. It presents significant opportunities for European firms, as well as benefits to EU energy security, and this is not a zero-sum game for us. And so we see a constructive path of engagement with the EU on this, and we continue to discuss this issue at all levels of the U.S. government. I'm just not going to get ahead of what will be on the agenda in their conversation.
It sounds like from your prepared response that you're prepared to talk about it.
We're always prepared to talk about issues that may come up. Certainly with our allies. As you know, France is our oldest ally, and the president looks forward to meeting with President Macron. We read the news reports and your reportings as well. We have heard President Macron's comments. So of course we're ready to have that conversation, but just don't want to get into a potential hypothetical. Maybe it comes up and maybe it doesn't. But the president is very proud of this Inflation Reduction Act. It will have true benefits for American families, and it's historical.
Okay. Thank you, Corinne. Again, on the IRA issue and Macron's visit, it seems like both sides have been, in public, have been tiptoeing around this issue a bit because no one wants to, spoil the public face of this state visit. But during his lunch today, Macron said some pretty harsh words about the IRA. He said, for example, it is super aggressive against French competitors, and it would kill jobs in the EU. So I know you've said that you've taken it into account and you're considering and so on, but does the president, you'll be meeting with Macron for hours, I guess, tomorrow, does he have some kind of sympathy for the straits that Macron seems to say that he's in on this? And in other words, is he really taking this on board as a very acute problem, the president? Because that seems to be the way Macron's putting it out there.
Look, I'm not going to get ahead of what's going to be on the agenda for their visit tomorrow. I'm not going to get ahead on what they're going to talk about, the topics that they will be discussing. I've been very clear. France is the United States' oldest ally. This visit is about reaffirming their relationship. And you've seen yourselves the relationship in person when they've met a few times during this president's almost 2 years tenure here. They have a very warm friendship. It is an important relationship, and that the president takes very seriously. And I know that President Macron does as well. But look, there's a number of provisions that we think will contribute to the growth of the clean energy sector globally, as I've mentioned already, in the Inflation Reduction Act, and it presents significant opportunities for European firms and as well as benefits to EU energy security. This is not a zero-sum game, but we have to remember the Inflation Reduction Act is a historic piece of legislation that's going to lower costs for the American people, and it's also going to invest, a historic investment into dealing with climate change in a real way. So not going to get into hypotheticals about what's going to be said or how the president's going to deal with XYZ. What I can tell you is we welcome the president of France and his wife, and the president's looking forward to having conversations with them.
Just a quickie, scheduling kind of thing. The French press people have put out that he's having dinner. The two are having dinner tonight with their spouses. I guess at a restaurant, a private dinner they're calling it. Can you confirm that? 'Cause it's not
I don't have anything to preview at this time.